Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Nathan Garland.
And I'm Daryl Flanagan, and we're the group known as Revelation. Today, our topic, no one really asked us to talk about this. It's just we both felt led by God to just talk about it. It will get a little personal, but take it away.
Yeah, and so like Daryl said, just a warning, this is going to get a little bit personal. It's going to be more on my side versus Daryl because this is something that, I've experienced and been through a lot these past few months. And so the topic is going to be how to choose joy in rough times and how to turn to God, and even when it's like really hard. And so I'll just share with you all the story of what's been going on, just so that you can understand, and then I'll tell you kind of the personal side and like how I handled it. And so some of you do know this about me, some of you don't. And so for the past 9 months, I've had some serious health issues as far as my lungs go and my heart goes. And there's been instances of like where they'll burn, I'll have a shortness of breath, that kind of nature things, spitting up blood, coughing up blood. And it's just all unusual for, a teenager who's very active in sports, very healthy. That was very strange. And I have been to doctor after doctor, even been in the ER, in the hospital. And, we're still trying to find answers. But the biggest thing I've always been told was, we don't know what's wrong with you. We can't explain why this is happening. And that is really hard for me to hear as a very active teenager and a very healthy teenager who loves being physically active and that sort of thing. To hear all this about you, and even to be told like, you can't do this, you need to slow down with this, you need to stay away doing this stuff. And like it hurt. Like it was awful for me to go through this, and it's just been honestly kind of terrifying because like, I'd be sitting in class some days and I'd get a text that says, hey, you're going to this doctor right now, go ahead and get your bag, we're getting ready to go. Even one day at school I got a call that said, hey, you're going to go to the hospital right now. And that was scary. And thankfully, we're eliminating the big things right now. So we have gotten the biggest issues out of the way. So right now we're kind of just trying to narrow it down as to what it could be. We've been told that they believe that within a month that I will have an answer. And so in all of this going on, because this is all new to me, like I've never really been sick as a child. And as a teenager growing, like I never was injured, that sort of thing. Like this is all new to me. And so I honestly found myself kind of doing the whole questioning God thing of like, God, why me? Why did you do this to me? What is the point of all of this? And there was even a point in these 9 months where I kind of was like, you know what? Like since you're doing this to me, God, like I don't want anything to do with you. Like you've done that to me. You've hurt me. And so I took a break from him. And, I didn't go out and do anything wrong, like smoking, drinking, anything like I didn't do any of that. I did more of like, just not, getting him involved, not reading any, not praying, not listening to worship music, nothing like that. And so that really hurt my relationship with Christ. But not only did it affect me, it affected everyone around me. It affected my family, it affected Abby, it affected my friends, like it affected everybody because of the attitude I had. And I noticed that with all of this, and Daryl, you can comment if you have anything you want to say when I say some of these things. When you get away from God, your attitude gets toxic. Like if you notice that, people who are so far away from God have the most toxic attitudes in this world. Daryl, like, what are your thoughts on that?
I'd have to agree. I've caught myself in some situations whenever I've distanced myself from God. Whenever someone would just ask me a simple question, that would just make me so mad and I would just be so hateful, and it was just like an easy question, And it's just not, I've done it to everyone, like including my family, it's easier for us just to get consumed by the situation that we're in, and kind of putting the blame on other stuff instead of just like giving it to God and realizing that, it's all his plan. But yeah, even myself, I've became toxic because I've let a situation just, it's a mental thing too. It just takes over and you're sick and tired of everything.
Yeah, and I feel like everybody hits a point where they get that toxic attitude and where they want to distance themselves from God. Like, I think everybody hits that point. But the hardest thing to do throughout all of this whole issue was to have that positive mind, because so much negative was being thrown at me. The whole, I don't know, it could be this, it could be that. Doctor after doctor trying to argue about what could it be. Should we do this with him? Should we do that? Should we do this test? Can we do that one instead? It's just been really like scary to hear all these different things. And it's hard. Like, it's so hard to be positive hearing all this. And I'm not gonna lie. These past few months I've not really been the best. But a couple weeks ago, I kind of got slapped in the face by Jesus, if that makes sense. Like, everyone knows what I mean by slapped in the face. You get called out. And so I kind of came to that realization, like, oh my gosh, like, like, I'm sitting here whining about this, but I'm not sitting in a hospital. I'm allowed to go out and do stuff with my friends. I'm allowed to do things with this person. And I'm allowed to eat normal, I'm allowed to drink. I'm just not allowed to do as much physical activity. And I've learned that you need to look at the positive of all of this and be like, I serve this awesome God. God is giving me this incredible strength. I'm fighting it. He's fighting it with me. And there is no battle that is greater than God, because every single battle that God takes you into, He's going to pull you out and He's going to make you stronger by going through that. Daryl, what is your thoughts on that?
Everything that God does put us through, I feel like it does shape us for the future. All of us, we've experienced situations that we really didn't think we were going to be able to get through. We were wondering why God would put us through it, Even if it was just the littlest things, we would just always just question God. And what we need to really be doing is just thinking about the long run and thinking about all the positives. Like you said, you're able to do so many things still, but that that little thing about you not being able to do more physical activities, that you thought more about that than all the greater things. And I think that's where we fail as Christians. We like to just focus on all the bad things that's happening whenever we truly have it blessed in the moment, but we take a lot for granted.
And I won't even lie to you, there was actually a phase in this whole medical issue that I even started convincing myself, I have nobody here with me, nobody's here with me, no one's helping me. And I don't know why I got that in my mindset, but I think it's because Satan threw that little sentence in my mind, and then I just rolled that ball with it and got it bigger and bigger, like a big snowball. It just got bigger and bigger the more I thought about it, dwelt upon it. But in all reality, I've had my family here the whole time. I've had Abby here. I've had Daryl. I've had all these different people sitting here being like, Nathan, I'm here for you. I'm praying for you. But I chose to look at the negative, and all this is a choice. You choose to do it, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah, like you said, the devil threw that little sentence in your mind. And see, I'm an overthinker, honestly. I overthink a lot of things, and that is something that we need to try to control, because the devil will throw that little thing in your mind, and you might not think of it at the beginning, but then you start to dwell on it. You start to think about it, and then it just keeps building up and then building up, and then it's just eating you alive.
Yeah, and so my greatest advice on how to choose joy in all this is you honestly have to think, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, is you have to look at the positive. You've got to, and that's super hard. Trust me, I know it. It's super hard. And you've also got to think, if it really has to get to this point, you even have to think, what did Jesus go through? You got to think, He is the one that came to save us, but He was the most hated man on earth when He was here. So you have to also consider that. So I just really encourage you all, when you are in these troubles, to really think look at the blessings you have. Because when you're going through a trial, there is a bigger blessing right behind it coming for you.
And a lot of people, I like to try to look at a lot of things like this. Whatever God's putting me through, I like to just think, after I get through this, maybe it's shaping me to help someone out in the future that's going through this,
Yeah. You'll hear a lot of people say you'll become a living testimony. That's really how it is, because that's how I'm looking at this now, is we're still not, I'm not going to lie, I'm still not done with this whole health ordeal. We're still going through doctors. But the good news is we've gotten all the big things out of the way. We've eliminated the biggest things there could have been. And so that's great news. Like, that's awesome. Like, that makes me so happy.
Yeah, and like you said, like a living testimony, you know, in the future, God might put you with like a kid, and you know, he's going through a lot of health problems, and you can just sit down and you can just relate to him on a personal level, you know, and then you could just explain yourself, and then I could explain, like, you know, like anxiety and other stuff with kids, you know, God's using us all, even though we don't know it.
Yeah, and so I think that's going to wrap it up for today. And so we really do appreciate you all watching this, and we would appreciate if you would comment down below. What do you think? You got any questions, prayer requests, just shoot us a message. We've had several people been doing that, and we love it. And if you have a topic that you want us to talk about, just shoot us a message and say, hey, I want to hear about this.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you all for watching.
See ya.